everybody, today I will be reading chapter 34 of Mahabharat. And the reason why I haven't been posting for the last 2 or 3 days is because something happened to our computer, which is where we do all of our editing. And it got like the battery, it worked completely fine, except it kind of, the battery kind of swollen up, so the bottom of that laptop wouldn't close. Now it's all okay. Slim, light, just like a regular, flat MacBook Pro, laptop. And we got it today. I don't know what time, probably when I was in school. So I should be on chapter 37 right now.
34.
I know it's 34, except I should be on chapter 37 if we had the thing. I'm surprised. I made all these pages. This is 34. There's 1, 2, 3 pages. Three pages. I read the the poem 3 days ago, right? It's Ode to Sunlight. Yeah, I did. Yes, I did. Indraprastha. While the followers camped in a makeshift village that Draupadi managed, the Pandavas set about organizing Khandaprastha. Krishna drew up a plan of action. They cleared the boggy marshlands and the brush that hid all manner of poisonous things. Arjun skillfully employed his divine arrows, gifted by Drona, to bring rain or make fire, clearing the land so that it could grow bountiful. Using Sahadev and Nakul's expertise, the animals and agriculture they managed the wildlife they found in the cattle they brought. Creating a balance of domestic and wild nature, Bhim employed his strength to dig canals so water could flow, irrigating the new fields. Right here it shows a picture of that hunting and stuff, I think. Hunting. Yeah. Balaram used his favorite plow to seed the fields. Yeah, there it is. Plow to seed the fields, with Yudhishthir leading the bulls over miles and miles of land. They planted wheat, barley, millet. Our birds eat millets. Millets? When you eat millets raw, they're so hard. I don't know. Probably when you boil it. Beans and flax. Nakul and Sahadev planted lentils between the grain fields so the earth would not be overused from the same crop. Some marshes they left wild to the mountain and the wildlife and its beauty, while other areas they tamed for human habitation. They created ponds and lakes filled with clean rainwater to ensure that the river system was not strained from the crops. The rivers were allowed to flow freely, granting life all along Bharat. And not just in their own kingdom. Vyas arrived and Krishna consulted with him. Together they selected a place that would be cleared for building a city. Damya performed the ceremony to worship the land, and the Pandavas erected high white walls with numerous gates, each gate adorned with panels carved like wings of Garuda. The walls were surrounded by a deep moat, wide as a lake, to create a fortified structure that paved streets, palatial mansions, and gigantic civic halls. They made gardens that bore numerous fruits. Why did I say numbers? Numerous fruits. Wait, what is that? Numerous fruit and nut trees. Parks with fragrant flowers and nutritious vegetables. And all manner of natural wonders were numerous markets, places, and torches that were every street at night. And an underground sewer system managed the waste of the city so that it flowed back into the fields and fertilized the crops. That's pretty smart. Using sewage stuff. You could hear the birds. Birds! They get louder. The Pandavas built the royal palace on the highest elevated point of the city with stone that was the lightning clouds. Each brother had his own mansion, with Draupadi's quarters and the center and Kunti's house close by. Yudhishthira then managed the transfer of their people from the camp to the city. Stone that was the color of lightning clouds. Each brother had his own mansion, with Draupadi's headquarters in the center and Kunti's house close by. Yudhishthira then managed to transfer of their people from the camp to the city, spreading out the numbers and organizing the different communities. Their artists and craftsmen created great sculptures and fountains that dotted the city, and pleasure houses of art and dance were numerous. Temples were made to bring the people's spiritual welfare, and pundits set up their ashrams in the park and natural places, creating a serenity and energy with their yagnas and mantras and yoga. The merchants set up their shops on the busy streets, and the farmers took charge of the fields under Sahadev and Naku's guidance. Arjun trained and commanded the warriors, and Bhim saw the defensive strategy of the people and their borders. Yudhishthira and Krishna consulted with the pundits and set up laws for peaceful maintenance of the kingdom. The city was so beautiful and prosperous that the people no longer called it Kandaprastha, that had been barren and ugly. They called it Indraprastha, the city of Indra. Its fame spread. Immigrants came, granted lands, homes, and jobs, and they produced wealth that all shared in, making the kingdom even more prosperous. Towns and villages were created beyond the city itself. 3 of the vast reclaimed desert that had been Kandaprastha. Seeing that the Pandavas were now well settled, Bhishma and Balaram bid them all farewell with heavy hearts, and the Pandavas let them go and continued the task of ruling Indraprastha in Krishna's absence. Each citizen paid taxes according to their means, but never more than their means. Each person had a job and a home, and all women were protected even if they had no husband or father. No children were considered orphans in Yudhishthira's kingdom. The sick were cared for. No one was vulnerable or poor. As a result, there was no crime in the streets. The people lived in shared prosperity without fear of being robbed or taken advantage of. Draupadi managed the royal palace and gardens with expertise. She was always busy taking care of guests and pundits and diplomats. From faraway nations, many kings sent their messengers to make treaties and trade alliances with Indraprastha, and Yudhishthira consulted with Danya on what was best for his people and for their land. He made friendship with smaller kingdoms and alliances with larger kingdoms. Any threat from hostile kings. Dhamma was best adverted with trade agreements and diplomacy, and if neither worked to protect his people, then only then was a king justified in making war. Yudhishthira listened to his counsel closely and was committed to safeguarding his nation. Still, there were many lands ruled by corrupt kings, and he worried about how to ensure his people's safety. All the people praised King Yudhishthira for his excellent management of Indraprastha. His body beside him outshone all the other creatures. And together, they made a paradise on earth with the younger... Yeah, my eyes watery. I'm okay. Oh. Where was it? Yeah, with the younger Pandavas making their revision real. Great sages came to Indraprastha to bless the Pandavas, and the Pandavas showed their gratitude and large charity and protection of the sages' ashrams. Being organized guards on the road to ensure that every traveler was safe under King Yudhishthira's protection. Arjun patrolled the borders with vigilant soldiers, ensuring that their subjects were always at peace. Then one day, as Arjun was in the front courtyard of the palace, a pundit came weeping into the front gates. Shocked, Arjun ran to him. "My cows have been stolen," the pundit cried. "Robbers took them. How will I perform yajnas without my cows to give milk and butter?" "Robbers in Indraprastha," Arjun wondered. "Do not fear, Pandit Lord. I will pursue these thieves and bring back your cows." He asked more questions to find out where the robbers were headed, and then rushed to the room where the Pandavas kept their weapons. The door was closed. The guard informed Arjun that the king and queen were inside. Arjun remembered their rule that no brother was allowed to break Draupadi's privacy with her husband for that year. If any other brother broke that rule, then he would have to go into exile for 12 years in the forest. But the Pandit was being robbed. Arjun thought, if he did not defend the Pandit, then Yudhishthira's kingdom would be defamed and crime would thrive. Arjun pushed the door open. Yudhishthira and the party looked up in shock, and Arjun bowed to the king, asking pardon. Arjun took his weapons and chased after the robbers, catching them and binding their hands to bring them back for trial. He took the cows unhurt to the Pandit. Returning to the palace, Arjun saw Yudhishthira waiting for him. "I must go into exile," Arjun said. Yudhishthira's face clouded. No. I know you only meant to help the Pandit. We made a rule, Arjun, helpless. We cannot break it." Yudhishthira sighed. Make ready then. But before you leave, come and see me." Arjun removed his royal clothing and dressed up in simple cotton. He said farewell to the body. She was just distraught, but he knew he must fulfill his vow. She told him that she would perform austerities until he returned to her. Arjun went to see his mother, who blessed him that his 12 years would be safe and fruitful. Arjun then went to see Yudhishthira and found all 4 of his brothers awaiting him. I closed the door against other ears. "Your exile can be advantage for our people," Yudhishthira said. Arjun listened to his brothers, listed all the lands and nations where needed alliances with kingdoms that were allied with Duryodhana. "We must remove all threat of attack," Yudhishthira said. Okay, that was chapter 34 of Mahabharat. We have 15 chapters left to go. I made 34 chapters, now I can make 15 more. There's look at this much. Okay, that was chapter 34 of Mahabharat. Make sure to subscribe, smash that like button, hit the notification bell, and I will see you guys tomorrow.